Hello, and welcome to today's teaching. So, very quickly, I have a question for you. A question that I think is most relevant in these times. As so much has changed in the past 2 years, 10 years, even 20 years. And that question is, do you still need art school to have a successful career? I've been asked a number of times if I have a formal art background, and I felt it's been asked enough times to talk about it. Is it necessary to enroll into an art university to draw like a professional and have a successful career? Before I share my thoughts, let's look at the pros and the cons of self-learning versus art university. So I'm gonna have it separated like this. And we'll put this side to be self-learning. And this we'll put as art uni. Alright, let's look at the pros of self-learning. I did a bit of research on this and got some answers, and I'll also give you my personal thoughts as to what would be best for you to pursue in this day and age, especially from experience. So self-learning it provides complete freedom to explore your interests and develop at your own pace without curriculum constraints. So let's put self-paced is one of the pros of self-learning. Significantly lower cost, so it's much cheaper. Like you can learn through free online resources, books, and practice materials, right? Now, flexibility to fit learning around work, family, or other commitments. And so it's flexible schedule. Seeing a lot of bonuses here. And the ability to create your own curriculum from diverse sources and skip irrelevant content. So I'll say this is self-curated. Lastly, a direct focus on practical skills you want to develop without required general education courses, which I honestly feel is just an addition to it being self-curated. You can focus on it as much as you want. But there are cons. There are some negatives you need to be aware of as it pertains to self-learning, or what's believed to be self-learning anyways. And I'll get into that later. So there's no structured guidance. Which can lead to developing bad habits or missing fundamental skills. Like, if you have the power to study and learn whatever you want, it's very easy to skip steps, learn the wrong things, and basically shoot yourself in the foot. But let's get to the next con. Lack of expert feedback. No professional feedback, which means you might not even recognize your own mistakes or blind spots. And the next con is it's easy to lose motivation or direction without deadlines, peers, or instructors. Lack of motivation. can't tell I'm enjoying myself here in writing this and explaining. Next one is missing the collaborative environment and peer critique that pushes artistic growth. So this point and the next point I'm gonna just summarize in environment. No formal credentials, which some employers or clients may value. So if you're looking to, have an art career, you need to know what you're getting into through what is known as self-learning. No credentials. I'm gonna just put cred. There's definitely street cred there, but nothing formal. And the last is harder to build a professional network within the art world. And this is because of the environment, right? Environment in your lack of motivation, environment in a lack of people who can give you feedback, lack of environment in networking. Bad network. I wanted to do, network bar. And then it's just this. That's all you got. Bad network. But let's not see it as all doom and gloom. Let's go over to formal art education or art uni. Let's look at what are, the advantages and disadvantages you get. The pros and cons to everything you do in life. There's a saying, quid pro quo, which means something for something, Nothing comes without a cost. So the pros of formal art education: structured curriculum ensures you cover fundamentals and develop a well-rounded skill set. So there's structure. Got people who've been working here or have established a working formula for decades that they provide reliable structure to help you cover the things that you need to know. Regular access to experienced instructors who provide personalized critique and mentorship. So we got professionals here. Professional feedback. We have built-in community of peers for collaboration, inspiration, and constructive feedback. Access to professional equipment, studios, and facilities you might not afford independently. So we have a good environment here. Networking opportunities with faculty, visiting artists, and fellow students that can lead to career opportunities. So here we've got good network, and we have to do this because this is how we started. Not gonna put all bars, no, but it's much better here as opposed to self-learning. And credentials, you get good cred here that can help with job applications, grants, or establishing credibility. But the cons are it is expensive, and we know that to be true. We know that when it comes to art tools, supplies, tuition, actually, which is the biggest thing, we know that art university is far more expensive. And if you're just joining me now, welcome. I'll take questions in relation to this topic once I'm done. So stay tuned, and good to see you. So, expensive. Tuition. I'll just put fees. Or I'll put money. Right? Next con, fixed schedule and location requirements. So that means it's not flexible. Different to working by yourself at home, you can have a flexible schedule. Here it's fixed. It's not up to you when you decide that you want to learn at this time or not, which is fine. Next con is curriculum may include required courses that don't align with your specific interests or goals, which means there's a lack of self-curation. It's not really tailor-made to you. And that's often, how many times has it felt that way, even watching YouTube videos? Like I was speaking about this last week, why it's not good for you to watch so many tutorials, and you can watch that video to get a lot more context as to what it is that I'm talking about. But the lack of self-curation is a big con. Next is pressure to conform to certain artistic philosophies or trends favored by the institution. So we have pressure, just put here external. Time commitment of typically 2 to 4 years for a degree program. So you can't even work at your pace. You have to be committed to 2 to 4 years, which can feel like pressure because if you think about it, learning to draw is a lifelong practice, and it's not everything that we learn or know at the same pace as other people. What might take 4 years for someone to master might take 10 years for me to master, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. The most important thing is I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm advancing. And so someone asked in the chat if you can see the message. Yes, I can see your message. And once I'm done with this teaching, I will get to it, I promise. Just stay tuned and I will get to your question. And so these are the pros and cons to self-learning and Art University. Going back to the beginning, I mentioned that I've been asked whether I have a formal art education. And the answer is no. I've been self-learning since January 2025. And I went from basic to intermediate in less than a year. I'm currently learning under one of the greatest illustrators and fantasy artists of our generation, who you may know as Patrick Jones. And if you don't, I recommend you check out his work. Absolutely phenomenal. And what I want to tell you is learning by yourself, self-learning, is very possible to see results and remain consistent and get the right kind of structure and guidance, right? You can gain the skills to be a professional right in your home. And the reason why I, have an issue with self-learning, like I'll put it in quotes, is because I don't believe there's anything that you can learn by yourself, because everything you learn is something that you learn from someone, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, just let me know in the chat. Like, everything you're learning something from me right now, and maybe you don't have an art education, and still it wouldn't be considered self-learning because you just learned something new from me, and that's normal, that's natural. We do that with everyone and from everyone, so it's okay. But for the sake of understanding, I'll say that yes, I self-learn, and I see a lot of benefits with self-learning, which I'll get into. Now, I tried to find some data, like research on successful artists that either studied at a university versus those that didn't, and it seems to be a mixed bag. It seems to be like 50-50 that you have self-learning artists and artists that studied that have a successful career, which means to me that either path can get you to where you want to go. So on paper, it's not like this is better than this. or this is better than this. It's really what you make of it. But the question becomes, which one should you choose? I can't decide that for you, but if you've come to my channel, this is what I would like to recommend. Alright, let me change the page because we've run out of space here. If you're getting any value from this, just let me know in the chat. Appreciate it. What I would recommend that everyone do, well, if you don't even have a place to start, you're at a crossroads. It's either this one or this one. Self-learning, art university. I would say go for self-learning. Because like I said, if I could grow from basic to intermediate in less than a year, not going to any art university, in my home, at my own pace, with a wife, amazing wife, and 2 beautiful children to take care of, and a job, then I know you can do this too. And I even teach you exactly what paths you need to avoid and the frameworks that will have your skills improve before your own very eyes in my 12-month art mastery program. And 20,000 is only a fraction of what universities charge. And you get personalized feedback, a workflow that suits your lifestyle, and clear steps on what will make you a master of your craft. Basically going from beginner to master in under a year. And if you feel like 20,000 is tight for you, there are so many other materials that you can get online which I can recommend for you. So Proco is one of them, and Proco has amazing courses. I got one of them, one of the Patrick Jones ones on this site, and I would recommend basic drawing course for beginners. There's also New Masters Academy. They have a subscription model, so if you find that buying or paying for a course up front is a little more dicey, then you can always opt to choose a subscription service, and you have access to all their material, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, just let me know in the comments. Then we also have Watts Atelier. Which is also a prestigious place that you can learn online. You have access to all the resources and materials that they have from all the years of its existence. And in all these resources, Proco, New Masters, Watts, you have access to community, which is so powerful. And personally speaking, from the value that you get in any of these courses, like, they are undercharging. Paying $160 for education that is worth over $80,000 tuition fee is crazy. These are people who have spent way more than this to give you the same things they learned that you can learn at your own pace only for this much. So, like, get the courses. And you can even use my YouTube community to speak with upcoming like-minded beginner artists that are also on their journey to mastery, because you don't have to do this alone. An environment is so powerful, and you need it more than anything. And always remember, when it comes to courses, resources, that you are the most important investment that you will ever make in your life. And there is no better time to start than right now. I've heard a saying that the best time to start drawing was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. So if you'd like to know if you still need an art school to have a successful career, I've given you all the information that you need to know. And the most important thing you need to know is, today it makes so much more sense, and that's my take, doing self-learning than art university. Because what you can pay this much for, you can get for this, and you can get at a greater value, and you can work at your own pace, you can work in the comfort of your home, you can, yeah, like, do it to the pace that you're most comfortable with, adapt it to your lifestyle, and still see results. And so that's where I leave things. And now I'm gonna get into some questions. Let's have a look here. Okay. My question is, which art university? This is any art university that provides the fundamentals and things that everyone goes to art university for. It can be any art university in the world that promises to give you a certificate and the experience that you need in order to pursue art at a professional level. You say you want to learn drawing and sketches? That's amazing. I've been learning that. I'd be more than happy to teach you in one of my programs, or you can also go over to these sites and find really good materials and resources. And if you'd like a recommendation of which ones, be happy to let you know. How old am I? I am 28 years old. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I'm 28 years old. I guess I'm gonna be 29 this year. I've been so busy I forget to think of like how old I am. It's crazy. Tell me, what are you good at in art? I have been practicing a lot of figure drawing. So this was something that I did this morning. Just a few sketches here as I am learning more about drawing the female figure. I got so many. This was a few days ago. Sketching, part of it was a course, part of it was just looking at reference. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of figure drawing lately. But I want to venture into comic books. So I'm learning everything I need to learn so I can get to that and then just enjoying everything. Yeah. He says, but bro, in the university there is environment. I agree. And so here's what I have to say about an environment when you're working at your own pace, when you're working at home. You actually don't even need to meet people personally. So for example, Patrick Jones, which I'm glad you know, love the guy, love the guy's work. He's such a cool guy. Just like his essence, you know. I've never met this man physically, but I still call him my art instructor because he teaches me through his courses. And now I'm one of his students in his private group of his students. I've never met my fellow students, but just being in a group where we are learning the same things from the same teacher, that has been a motivation to keep me on the path that I need to go. So we've been blessed with technology that doesn't require us to be in a physical place in order to meet people, connect with people that we have a lot of things in common with. Like, how many times has it happened that in your immediate environment you can't seem to find people that you get along with, but on the internet you can, right? So don't hold that back from yourself. Like, don't restrict yourself or limit yourself to people that you can meet on the internet just because it's not in person, just because it's not the traditional experience, right? So Discord, right? Reddit, Facebook. I'm in a few Discord groups, and just being in a place where People are sharing their work, you know, and we're seeing each other's work. We're showing love and appreciation for each other's work, or in some groups, we're asking for feedback. That's the kind of environment you need. The one that's going to help you improve in your results rather than hold you back and rather than see you stagnant and on your own. So don't be afraid to socialize with people on the internet. It doesn't have to be the way that we thought it's supposed to be in our brains, but if it gets the job done, which is me in an environment that's helping me to become a better artist, then that's all I need. It doesn't have to be the university. It just needs to be what the university teaches, which I can afford and which I can do in my own time. Hope that answers you, gives you more clarity on why I would still prefer this over this despite the environment. Am I interested in anime? I am interested in anime. I wouldn't say as much as one of my brothers, Devante. Shout out to him. He was here on one of my live streams, and he's into jiu-jitsu as well, and he helps people who are struggling with weight loss, all that stuff. Yeah, he is. He definitely loves anime. I'm basically like a visitor, but I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I enjoyed Dragon Ball Super. I didn't finish. Naruto, but I enjoyed that for the time I watched it. Some Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia, and it's been a while. I have to get back into it. Do you know there is a site named FMHY, something like this? I found it a week later. This is insane. No, I didn't know about it, but if you are getting value out of, the site that you founded, that's good. So the only difference that I would say between self-learning and the art university route, when it comes to things like remaining consistent, it requires more from you in terms of you need to be the one to push the envelope. And I guess while we're talking, I can draw a little bit. You need to be the one to say, okay, I'm going to find an environment. Okay, I'm going to connect with people. Okay, I'm going to do ABC. And that's fine. I honestly prefer that, like, I'm the one deciding when I want to draw. Because some days I'm too busy, but I'm still making progress, So if you're okay with that, which I hope you are, and if you're not, it's okay. That's all you need to do to get like all those benefits. Like I said, you would get at university, but you can get at the comfort of your own home. What am I doing for a living? I am an art instructor, and I help aspiring artists, well, once aspiring artists, fall in love with drawing again. And for those who are beginners, I lead them to my art mastery program, which is 12 months long, and we go over like the clarity that you need, the frameworks that will help you even with a busy lifestyle. So setting up a program for you where you're able to work at it at your own pace and then still see the results that you want to get out of it. And if you're interested, you can email me at, I'll put it here, artcreatorsacademy.com. And then I also work in the games industry. I believe the stream is a bit delayed, so you'll see the email. It's gonna make sense after you've heard what I'm gonna say. there's nothing else to ask in terms of the question here, or the what we're talking about in today's video, then I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you found the information insightful, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more that will come. On Fridays we hang out, some of my subscribers, and we just draw stuff, and you can feel free to ask any questions that you desire. The Monday videos are mainly for questions that have to do with the topic at hand. But I appreciate you coming, and once again hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next time, take care.